How's she going, my son, and welcome back to Path of Exile. We are in the very early game of Shadow. We are going elemental melee goodness. Mostly frost blades and elemental hit at the moment. Holy shit, that does a lot of DPS. Although I don't know if the game is calculating that correctly because of the randomness of its extra damage. But, I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, Tarkley has another mission for us.
Got a job for you, if you're willing. There's a pool near the mudflats needs investigating. You'll smell it before you see it. Stinks like a carcass in high summer. That's not the worst of it.
Lovely.
Dead birds walking. Animals don't rise up again the same as people do here. So if they aren't raising themselves, what's doing it for them? The answer's in the fetid pool. Clear the place out and kill whatever's raising those rowers. We've got enough living dead to contend with already.
I'm going to take a quick peek and see if there's anything here for the Dex Int-oriented man. Although I already have a chest. What's the Dex Int hat? Is it? That's the scare mask, isn't it? Yeah. It's literally just like leather BDSM hood. I don't even remember what the shoes are. Oh well, we'll find him in the world, I'm sure.
Stay sharp out there.
Okay. So, the Mudflats. We've officially hit World 1-2. Actually, 1-3. 1-1 is the Twilight Strand, which is where you wash up on shore. Yeah. Oh. These are Roas. These things suck. Not as bad if you actually are a melee character, though, but when you're not a melee character and you actually want to keep some distance, they're like, nope, we're going to charge right into you. And our charge ignores evasion for some reason, which is horseshit. But, you know, it's a mechanic in a video game. What are you going to do? The correct answer is, ooh. Do you hear that? Harbinger. We're in what's called the Harbinger League at the moment. This is how they test new mechanics. Ooh. Okay, there, Chara. Take it easy. You're just killing weird bird monsters. But anyway, the Harbingers, as you can see, are really weird. For one thing, we don't know what the hell their name is. Like, look at that. What the hell is that? And another thing, you see that immune to damage? Yeah. However, they can be killed, but you have to kill all their summoned buddies. And they drop shards of orbs. In particular, they drop some that you don't get full orbs of otherwise. Alchemy is one you do, though, and Alteration you do. Binding is one you don't, and I really hope it sticks around in the main game, because it is so good. When you're making a new item from scratch, you're trying to make a good magic item. Let's say, for example, I was trying to pimp out these mitts. See what this is first. Ooh. Yeah, that's better than what I'm using. Doesn't have the... Oh, never mind. I have link colors over here. Haha. Boop. Let's say we're pimping out these gloves. And gloves, when they're high enough level, can have 4 sockets, and they can all be linked together. More damage. So, you know, you can have one attack with 3 modifiers to it to make it do crazy stuff. Oh, hey, another one. Hey, come on now. Summon dudes so I can kill them. So I can kill you. You know, don't be cheeky. There we go. Ah, they keep, like, despawning their buddies and respawning them. Which is kind of annoying sometimes. Alchemy shards. But like I was saying, with the Orb of Binding, it automatically makes a weapon that's or any item. But you best to use these on helmets, gloves, and boots. Because they cap out at 4... I'll just leave that there for now. That's a quest item for later. They cap out at 4 links, because there's only so much room on the physical model for the links. You know, like, there's only one more spot here, right? So once you have Orbs of Binding, and a high enough level of hands, feet, or helmets, an Orb of Binding instantly makes it have enough links and sockets, which is huge. Getting enough links and sockets on your equipment in this, particularly once you get to the end game and you're getting to, like, yeah, let's wear that. When you get to the end game and you start doing the maps, which are these randomly generated, well, randomly modifiable, I should say, because they're not completely randomly generated, in the sense that you have no control over them. Because, like any item, you can modify it with the orbs, and the modifiers on the maps modify what you encounter, what, like, if the mobs have, like, elemental resistances or reflects, which is really shitty, or if they're, you know, if there's double bosses or something. You know, when you start doing those, and you need items that have upwards of 6 links, like, I still don't have one, legitimately. The only item I have that has 6 links in it is a rare item I got that's a simple robe, or a unique, I should say, a simple robe called the Tabula Rasa. It has no stats, so it does not give you any defense whatsoever. It gives you no health, gives you no resistances, but it has 6 of the best sockets in the game, because it has 6 sockets that are linked and are white sockets. White sockets will take any color of gem, no questions asked. Whereas otherwise, you have to put them in the right color. So, it's pretty sweet. It's a really good testing builds weapon. Or armor, I should say. Ruthless support. Every third attack with a supported melee weapon deals a ruthless blow. Ruthless blows supported deal 75 more melee damage. Ruthless blows deal 75 more bleeds with melee damage. Supported skills have a base stun of 0.8 seconds. Yeah, I can't use that, and I don't have any room to store those anymore in my... So, wear that instead. I don't have, like, room to store those anymore, so I'm just going to not bother. Also, I need to... Okay, well, you know what? I don't need the poison. I can go like this. I can put Frostblades here, so I can still have the piercing. Switch this out for the evasion and shield. Throw that away. Just put these in so they still get levels and I can still use the elemental hit. And then we'll figure out the linking later when I have more links. Ah, fuck. I don't know why I thought my right click was an attack. I specifically set it on this character to be move without doing anything. Because I've started using it on another that feature on another character, and I noticed, oh hey, this is actually really useful. Give me 1 second. Bam. Excellent. Every one of those guys I freeze, he can't pick back up again. God damn it. Stop. Stop. Ah. There we go. There's a couple more of them he can't bring back. And he can't res himself. Good times. Okay, what do we got? Sharktooth Claw. Sword, hat. Ooh, bigger mana. Now, unfortunately, something you shouldn't do in the later game, but in the early game you can get away with it. When you switch out a potion on your belt, it does not come with any charges inherently. You gotta fill her up by killing things again. Which is why you can't just have a backpack full of potions for every situation. Because you can only carry the 5 that actually have any energy in them at a time. Which is still plenty useful. I've not found I need any more than that. Maybe on one character, but that might just be me allocating potions incorrectly. Like, I could, you know, take off one of the potions I do have and put another health potion on the bar or whatever. You know, it's a decision you get to make as a player. Something I always think is very important in games that, at least that are attempting to be complex. Like, I don't mind a game every now and again where, you know, a lot of the decisions are made for you because they're just optimal and there's not a whole lot of other ways to go about it. Like, to give you an idea, I had some computer issues recently, which is part of the reason why I wasn't doing any recording and posting of videos, other than just my own anxiety-induced procrastination. And so I got a chance to break up my old Super Nintendo, or rather the air quotes new Super Nintendo I bought a couple years ago, and play one of the old games I had lying around in storage, Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire is very linear. I mean, it has kind of cool backtracking where you might have heard my phone there. It has cool backtracking where like characters do things on the map, and like you get like little Legend of Zelda style puzzles where it's like, oh, I have this character now. He can do this thing, so I can double back and grab the cool thing I missed before because I couldn't get in the room before. You know, like there's a guy that can break open walls, there's a guy that picks locks, so on and so forth. Yeah, this is the next quest, but we're gonna skip ahead and just do it now and then go back to town and turn in 2 rewards at once. Efficiency! Ooh, superior. Superior being a quality that can be on any piece of equipment. Almost. You can't get superior jewelry. Ooh, big guy. Yeah, unfortunately he does chaos damage over time, so he's depleting my health while he's smacking my shield, but he's now dead. Problem solved itself. None of that's useful. Yeah. We were talking about decisions in games, and we were talking about how every now and again a really linear, really simple game isn't bad. Breath of Fire 1 is a ye olde JRPG if I've ever seen one. Linear narrative, characters just grow linearly. They don't get like class options or spec options or anything like that. They all just do what they do from day one, and they just get better at it as they go. I mean, the main character starts being just the I smack things with a sword character, but then he gets the ability to turn into a dragon, which is pretty dope. But you know, like that's still basically I smack things. It's now I smack things with my breath. Like it's the basic idea. He's still just a damage character. But anyway, you know, like it doesn't go in any like really strange directions. Like you can't suddenly make the main character like a primary spellcaster or anything like that. It's just, this is what he does. Leveling him up makes him do it better. That's fine. However, do not do that and then tell me your game has customization and depth. Because that, sir, is lying. And I don't appreciate being lied to when it comes to video games. I mean, unless it's done for a dramatic narrative effect, of course. Then lie to me all you want. Tell me I'm pretty. Yeah. The next quest would have been to get into this passage, but I already know what to do, so not a big deal. You can do it with a lot of quests in this, actually. If you already knew what to do, you can just go ahead, skip the NPC dialogue, and then go to town and be about your business. Although, speaking of NPC dialogue, we're going to get a bunch of it in a moment while I have a drink.
Now that you've drained that passage, best I warn you about something. I was running down a wounded rower one night when I glimpsed something in that waterlogged cavern. Looked a bit like a sand spitter, only the size of a bloody ox. I reckon it's nesting down in those bloody depths somewhere. If you're going that way, then do us a favor. Spill the old shield crab's guts before it gets hungry and comes looking for us.
Alright, so, opening the door, we get another gem. Bear trap. Again, it's a trap. I've never used them. Orb of Storms. Creates a stationary electrical orb that frequently unleashes a splitting bolt of lightning on a nearby enemy. Using another lightning skill while inside the orb's cloud unleashes additional bolts. Casting this skill, again, will replace the previous orb. You can only cast the spell yourself directly. Oh yeah, that's the thing you can do in this later, by the way. Is, actually, not even that later. There's a... I don't know if I can get it as a shadow, but as another character, at this point, you could have what's called a spell totem. It's a red gem, and if you link it with a spell, instead of casting the spell yourself, you plunk down a totem that spits it out at consistent intervals. It's a little less damage and a little slower than doing it yourself, but it lets you do it while you're doing something else, which is pretty dope. But I don't know if I get that option as a shadow, because, again, it's a red gem, it's a strength gem. I'm pretty sure it's a strength intelligence gem, but it's primarily a strength gem, so I might not be able to use it. Riposte. This is another skill that you don't use it directly, because it's a counter. you know, parry riposte. You just get free damage whenever you block. And if you're using dual wielding, you block with both. You have the lowest block out of blockable weapons. It's only 18%. Staves block 18% too, by the way. But whenever with this one, if you're dual wielding, you use both weapons for the counter. I don't know if I'll use that. And Contagion, which is cool, but it's on a different. But that's not the character I'm playing today. I'm gonna try Orb of Storms. I've never actually had this ability before. I'm gonna put Poison Sport on it too.
A necromancer.
Yeah.
Just the one, was it? Guess the bastard got a bit lonely, decided to make himself some pets. Wow. Good to see you don't mind getting your hands good and filthy. Here, to mark a dirty job well done.
Book of Regrets.
I've traveled inland on the Emperor's Road, via Prisoner's Gate. Had to skirt around Axiom Prison. That's the holdfast of Brutus the Warden. Bloody treacherous trip it was. Worth it? There's forest in there. Game, berries, fruit. More food than we can scrounge here. But most here wouldn't survive the journey. Would be a damn sight easier if we could pass through the prison. You carve us a path up the coast. Find us a way past or through Brutus. You'll have more than a few lives for it.
Next quest. I don't have enough to do another level up of that, so I'm just gonna unload some stuff to make some room.
Stay sharp out there.
Now, the Book of Regrets, when we use it, completes the quest, and gives us what they call refund points. Refund points, as you would expect, allow you to undo your choices in the tree. There is no way in this game to do a full respec without just making a character from scratch. They do, however, let you use these refund points to jimmy your character around a little bit. Like, say, maybe, oh, this doesn't work the way I thought it did, or, oh, I need more life right now, so maybe I gotta shave some of my damage off to put more life on, you know, stuff like that. You get those options, but you don't get the ability to just go, you know, say I got like all my points and I'm full in the tree. There's no way to go back to 0 points spent and I have all these options and now I can do a completely different character. There's no way to do that, which is interesting but kind of annoying. But I'll cancel refunding because I do want those points there. You know, so you do have to consider what you're doing when you put points in, but you don't have to, I guess, be afraid of spending points. Probably the best way to put it. Because you can correct small mistakes. But if your whole tree is a mistake, you might want to start over. Anyway, Submerged Passage. Now, I'm curious about something. If I cast Orb of Storms... Oh, cool, that does work. Elemental Hit has the tags... I'm pretty sure it has, like, all the elements as one of its tags. Where is it? Elemental Hit. Yeah, attack, melee, fire, cold, lightning, and bow, if you're using it on a bow. So Orb of Storms, using another lightning skill, it doesn't specify spell, so I can just drop an Orb of Storms on myself, spam an elemental hit, and then I get the extra lightning bolts. That's kind of cool. Might not be something I stick with long term, but I mean, hey, free damage. Or at least low effort damage, anyway. I mean, I could, later in the game when I get abilities like Curse on Hit, I could make the Orb of Storms Curse on Hit, so I don't have to worry about applying the curses myself, and instead apply, you know, instead just focus on doing damage, and the orb will handle applying statuses. You know, that kind of thing. Or I should say curses. Slightly different thing. But for now, clearing out massive hordes, Frostblades will do just fine. I swear, the blades that come out after you hit the initial target home, like, they can't do like a 90-degree turn. but I feel like they always travel in the best straight line to a target's face. I mean, if the target moves in the meantime, well, nothing you can do about that. But if, you know, they travel pretty damn fast. And we're going to grab Trickery. Increased elemental damage, increased critical strike chance, and a bit of dexterity and intelligence. Now, you'll notice that all the things in the tree have little, like, gilding around them. These are the ones that are just circles are your basic points. They don't do as much as these ones, but they're the majority of the tree. These ones, they call them notables, give you more points, more stuff, but you usually have to get to them. Like this, like they'll be at the end of a sequence of points you can take. Like that was at the end of going up these, or if I went this way and went down. You know, you got to get to what is it? You got to eat your meat before you can have your pudding, basically. And of course, then we have the keystones. These are the big ones that completely alter your character in some way, but usually at a trade-off. This one, for example, is acrobatics. 30% chance to dodge attacks. That's different than evasion. Because what the game calculates damage by going evasion. Evasion is checked. Did evasion fail? Dodge is checked. Did dodge fail? Armor and resistances apply. And then the rest of that is... and then whatever's left after that is applied to your energy shield, then your health. Obviously, if you don't have any of those, one of the steps is skipped. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure my character has no armor. So when I don't when I don't dodge an attack, or evade an attack, it takes damage out of my energy shield. And then if I don't have an energy shield left, it goes right for my hit points. Shrines, classic of this kind of game. Random temporary buffs. Although, man, did anyone remember the shrines from, like, Diablo 1? The ones where you could get, like, permanent stat ups, but they also give you a stat down? Or, like, they fuck with your equipment, but sometimes you get, like, the best stuff in the game from it. So, like, you want to touch them, but at the same time, they can also be, like, cursed. I kind of like that. I kind of like those kind of shrine decision-making. You know, it harkens back to roguelikes, like true roguelikes back in the day, and even more modern ones, where, you know, you had the shrines where if you did the right thing, you got something awesome, and if you did the wrong thing, it blew you up. Or, you know, your character, like, permanently lost hit points or something. Like, some horrible problem came up. But if you were savvy and you knew what you were doing, you could exploit them and get mad rewards. Whoop.
It was then, at that moment, that I knew. I fucked up.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, no, no. Hit all the buttons. Ah, fuck me. Well, rip. I'm on softcore though, so I can just get back up and keep going. And I'm not even at a high enough level where I lose experience for dying, so yay. I don't think that happens until you hit what was Merciless. So that's like, shit, that's like level 60 or so. Yeah, that was just poorly managed on my part. I should have just focused on using Frost Blades instead of trying to be fancy with the orb. Ah, I've been blinded. Blinded sucks. Cut your accuracy in half. Or, yeah, cut your... I think, mechanically, it makes everyone's evasion double versus you. Yes, because I remember there's the one keystone that the Marauder is close to called Unwavering Stance. I'll show it to you in a second. Whoop. Unwavering Stance. Where are you two? You are down here. Cannot evade enemy attacks, but you cannot be stunned. If you have that, even if an enemy is blind, they will still hit you. Because your character just doesn't bother dodging. You just no-sell everything, which is kind of cool, but, I mean, at the same time, unless you stack a lot of armor, or, or life, you will get yourself killed. You know, it's like having poise in Dark Souls 1. Only it doesn't run out, which is awesome. But since that is on the clear other end of the tree, and I kind of want to experiment with critical hits, because it's something I've not really done a lot of in this game, like, at all. I won't be able to take that. And I won't be able to take Resolute Technique either. Another one that the Marauder is near that I do love dearly. You can never miss your attacks. Because even if you have a ton of accuracy rating, your attacks have a 5% chance to miss at the absolute best. With Unwavering Stance, your attacks never miss. Period. The enemy's evasion rating means nothing. However, you can no longer crit. Period. Even with spells. And obviously, since I want to crit on this character, and it's also on the other end of the tree, like I said before, I'm not going to do that. So, you know, that's how she goes. How she goes. But the idea of being a shadow with a Resolute Technique, while a bit far-fetched, because it's way the fuck over here, it is quite a few points away, even if you went, like, the fastest route possible. Oh yeah, it's still, like, well, let's see, 1, 2, okay, you start here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You would be level 24. You'd be level 24 if you don't account for any of the skill points you get for free for quests. And I think you'd be maybe like level 18, including those, before you have that one thing. And all of your other points at that point would just be in base stats. So you wouldn't exactly have a lot of life or be doing a lot of damage. Not the best trade-off in the world. If I really want to make a Resolute Technique character, I would pick the Marauder or maybe the Templar, because he's pretty close to there too. And since he's the character that's like the exact opposite of dexterity, he often has accuracy issues. But I mean, that makes him a good... But, you know, he's also a good spellcaster, so he often doesn't need accuracy. Because spells don't check accuracy, just at all. Because they're spells. I mean, duh. Okay, so now we have some options in terms of where we... I mean, we always had options. We could have gone here or here. Or we could have gone here or here. But now we have, like, 4 different ways we could possibly go. This is the crit path. This is... I'm probably going to grab all these eventually anyway. The biggest thing is what order do I want them in? Do I want to just get more flat elemental damage? Do I want to get crits? Do I want to get some life and lifesteal? Or life on kill? You want to get some mana and mana on kill? I think I'll max out this life and mana lump here. I think they call them wheels. But I mean, lump, wheel, blob, section. You know, they all work. The English language, wonderful thing. Yeah, so I'm going to take the mana increase. It's only about 6 points, but that's fine. I mean, that'll scale indefinitely as long as I keep getting levels and getting intelligence and such. And whatever I get off of gear as well. Because the big thing to remember is, like, these things here that I'm getting, they're multipliers. So, like, right now, I'm only getting elemental damage from the abilities themselves. But if I pick up a weapon that's, like, add 50 fire damage, that will also be increased by 14, 26, 36, 46, 56... by 76%. So I'll end up with a weapon that does... Just trying to do some math in my head here real quick. It'll be somewhere in the ballpark of that extra 50 will turn into... I'm gonna ballpark and say like 74, 75. No, a little more than that actually. It'd probably be like 80, 85 damage. Even though it was only 50 to begin with. And then I'm only a couple points into the whole tree. You know, it gets better from here. But yeah. We're going to work on the life and mana nodes down there, I think. Don't know if I'll bother grabbing all of the mana node there. I think I'll just grab the thing in the middle that gives you the mana on kill. And the, and then the one I need to get to it. Because, I mean, again, it's a multiplier. But once you start getting like a decent feed of mana from like your abilities or the on-kill things and stuff, you don't need like a massive pool of it, I find. Since, again, potions are such a good thing in this game, if you really run out, you don't need to... Like, you don't need to rely on having an enormous pool of mana to get you through from mission stop to mission stop, basically. Whereas... Oops. Oh well. Do some extra damage. Giant enemy crab. Drop another orb. Keep smacking him. And dead. Alright. Good times. Large mana. Chainmail rare. Not much in the way of drops for yours truly, but it'll do. I mean, when you're this, like... My perspective on gear in this game has completely changed. Because, well, for one thing, the really early game... Let's grab that. The really early game, you don't really need much, and you don't really need a lot until, like, Act 3. You can get away with Act 1 and 2 with just good damage, decent hit points, and your resistances really don't matter. For the first boss of Act 1, though, that's like the final boss, I should say, having capped cold resist is really good, and kind of easy to do, actually. Because there's a ring that's inherently cold resist, the Sapphire Ring. Get 2 of them, modify them with some currency to turn them into additional resistances, and you'll very easily hit 75% resist, because that's the cap. And since the first act's last boss is almost entirely cold damage, she does significantly less damage to you and is pretty easy to deal with. Her first form has a lot more melee, but, I mean, don't be stupid and keep your life up. Not that hard. Honestly, the boss I'm heading towards for the Brutus that was mentioned by Tarkley, I actually kind of find him harder than her. Because you can't really get to the armor cap this early. Scare mask. Okay, well, I'm going to stick with what I have because it's a rare. But that is the thing I was looking for earlier, the scare mask. The dexterity intelligence hood for low levels. Now, there's nothing saying a character has to wear the gear that's meant for their stat. It is, however, highly encouraged. For example, I made the mistake on my highest level character, who's a Necromancer, which is a Witch Ascension type, because the Witch has, like, a lot of the early minion nodes, because, you know, you can raise zombies and stuff. And, so she gets the specialty class later that is minion-focused. So that was my pick. But I was having a lot of problems in, I guess I'd say the mid-game, where I was just dying a lot. Because I was Chaos Inoculation. Meaning, if I ever lost my energy shield, I just dropped dead. Because I only had 1 actual hit point. As awesome as it is to be immune to chaos damage, believe me, it's really good. You know, having no defense, or having no durability once your shield is gone does suck the big one. None of these are relevant. I mean, the claw might be. The claw might be. 10 int. It is more damage. And it would give me life leech, but I don't have enough sockets. Urgh. Fuck it. That's always a problem, though. Sockets. Particularly in the beginning, because they didn't initially design this game with you having a lot of gem access, so you didn't need a lot of sockets. But now that they could... But now that they sell you... geez, pardon me. Now that they sell you support gems and stuff early on, like, you basically get to pick with currency the stuff you didn't pick as a quest reward. So you are going to have access to a lot more stuff. You know, it's like, they didn't like readjust the early game sockets to account for this. Which is fine. You'll make do. Oh yeah, get froze. Have an orb. Don't get trapped in a corner again like last time. Okay. Binding shards. I need a lot of orbs of binding for my main character, actually, because she needs to. Because what I was going to mention is that I made the mistake of going armor and energy shield, when, as a witch, she really should have went pure energy shield, particularly as chaos inoculation. Because, again, no health, energy shield is my life bar. I should make it as big as possible. Because my brain was going to the idea, like, the Warframe armor concept, where having a lot of armor makes you have a lot of health. Not as much in this game. Now, it does when you are a mono health character, and mono health and armor, the Marauder, basically. Because then you end up with a shite ton of effective hit points. Doesn't work as well when it's energy shield, though. Doesn't work as well.
It is time to bring another of our warriors home.
Oh yeah, this guy is what they call one of the Forsaken Masters. One of these people. They all have jobs for you to do. One of which is a daily. Otherwise, it's just you find them in the world. It's like, hey, help me do a thing. This guy in particular wants to save the spirits of Kauri warriors. You know, the native people of this setting. From what I'm assuming is basically hell for them. You know, they're owned by their version of the devil, and you know, but you can get them. You can basically run a gauntlet in the underworld and save them. Kind of very Greek mythish, if you will. And so this is what we're doing. We're running through an area to save a dude's immortal soul, basically. But there's all this stuff in the way. But once we do that, reputation with Haku goes up, and Haku is the armor smith, as his name implied. And what the Forsaken Masters do is, one, they're specialty vendors. Like, he will sell primarily things that are strength-based. So, like, he'll sell you armor, like, straight armor, as well as, He'll sell you straight armor, he'll sell you red gems, and he'll sell you items modified with his special property. His special property being, he can increase the quality of gems in the sockets of an item beyond up to 20%, actually, which is interesting. Whoa, hello. That's the guy we gotta save. Oh, and he's being belligerent about it. Okay. But the Masters are a part of the hideout system, where you get to, you know, make a base and bring these NPCs to it, and allow you to craft things. I'll show you when we're out of here. I'm just gonna see if I need any of this stuff first. Nope. Alright, let's motor. Now, when you pick up these spirits, I don't think it happens this low level, but sometimes a thing happens. The thing happening can be something like the spirit resurrects dead enemies that are nearby every couple of seconds, which is joyous. Sometimes he causes raging spirits to come flying at you, which are... Raging Spirit is a skill that's a minion skill, but it's not a true minion because it doesn't stick around and enemies don't target it. But it's a little automated flying flaming skull that just runs up and bites things. You know, stuff like... And the spirit will do stuff like that because it's still technically evil and wants to fight back. But then you get it to this guy and he makes everything better.
On behalf of the ancestors, I thank you.
And then he flies up to heaven. Yay. Alright, so now we will grab Soul Siphon. Speaking of souls. And, so that gives us a max mana boost, direct max mana boost, so that gets multiplied by everything else. More multiplier. And max mana, mana get on kill. The get on kill is probably like the weakest form of getting resources back, but I mean, it's better than not having anything. It's better than not having anything at all. And I mean, and in this game, particularly later on, but also in this particular area we're about to experience, one of my favorite, actually. Because it's just a straight hallway full of monsters. You know, like I said, full of monsters. So every time I kill out here, I get 5 mana back. If I kill more guys with 1 move than 5 mana needs, well, I'm just gaining mana. Yeah, these Frostblades only cost 6. So shit, yeah, I'm getting a lot of mana if I ever kill something in like 1 or 2 casts and I kill like 6 guys. See? Still positive mana. It's pretty good. Those are the evasion shield boots. But they don't have move speed on them. Okay, well, it'll give me a chance to show you a pattern. Oh, gonna be so slow. It'll give me a chance to show you a pattern when I get back to town, but we'll just have to suffer the slowness for the meantime. Now, one thing you'll notice, due to the lack of gold in this game, I'm not picking up everything and, like, constantly portaling back to town and selling it all. You'll do that more once you get better drops. But and in the really early game, you might anyway, because even if you sell the like white items, you get parts of scrolls of wisdom, which are still relevant. I have just hundreds of them, though, because this character is on an account where, you know, I have a lot of stuff. So, you know, I can afford to be a bit flippant with what I pick up. At least this early. Later on, it starts being more profitable to pick up stuff and sell it. But even then, you still don't feel like you're just, like, constantly filling your inventory with junk and then selling it again. And then going back out and getting more junk. And so on and so forth. It's liberating. Because what you really want to find are the currencies themselves. I mean, particularly if you're in the market, if you're doing the trading with other players. Not something I've done a lot of, but, you know, it doesn't look too difficult.
You managed to kill a granddaddy crab. A pity you couldn't lug it up out of the caves for us. Could have made quite the chowder out of it. No matter. We've got one less reason to fear the dark. And I've got one more thing to thank you for.
Book of Skill.
Stay sharp out there.
Best quest reward ever. Because I get to pick more things in this huge tree. Huzzah. And the next level, I'll have Blood Siphon. Gives me some strength, which isn't super necessary, but it might come up. You never know when you need, like, a little bit of your third off stat sometimes, because, like, maybe a gem needs it as, like, its off stat or something, and you're like, oh, shit, I need, like, 10 points. I mean, so something like this is a nice little gimme. Plus, getting life on kill and just more life doesn't hurt either. And it gets us one step closer to getting to coordination, which is what I want to get. Although, once I get coordination, I might go back up and start getting stuff here. Yeah. Yeah, because this is physical and chaos damage, which... I mean, the physical damage would be appreciated, but I think elemental would be a better thing to focus on. Yeah, and then I'd start getting, like, the crit and stuff, too. Yeah, I think that might be better. Yeah. Okay. So, last thing we do today is I'm going to show you a recipe. Because not only do you get specific things when you sell specific things to the vendors, but you also get the possibility of making, like, a custom item, depending on what you sell. Let's see, this requires... Oh, I gotta try to do it without looking it up. Okay, it needs the shoes. It needs the potion. And it needs one of these. It's one of these or one of these. I'm not sure which. I'll just take both just to be safe.
What little help I can offer is...
No. Is it this one? No. Okay, I think I know what it is. I have to make the boots magic first. then sell them with the alteration
Offer is yours.
and the potion. No, that's not it either. Hang on.
Take care.
I'll figure this shit out.
What little help I can offer is yours.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Be well.
Does the potion have to be magic? Maybe that's it.
Hello. While we live, we are blessed.
BRB one moment while I look this up. Okay, I done fucked up. I need boots that are white, and I need this item. The Orb of Augmentation. I don't need 30 of them, I need one. Oh well. I also need a white pair of boots. I'm not going to use an Orb of Scouring. That's really wasteful. I'll just see if I can buy a new pair.
Still alive, are we?
If I can't buy a new pair, I might do it just to show it off. Ooh, helmets. Plague Mask. And I'm just going to buy that because it has 3 rainbow sockets, so I can sell it for the rainbow... I can sell it for a rainbow gem. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so...
Farewell.
It's any variety of Quicksilver Flask, any white pair of shoes, and an Orb of Augmentation. Boots with movement speed on them.
God hasn't abandoned us.
Now, I'm going to try something. Hopefully this works. I think this is the pattern to upgrade the speed.
What little help I can offer is yours.
Although I'll sell some stuff first. Okay, yeah. That's the pattern to make it faster. It just adds 5 to the speed stat every time you do it. So let's do it a few times. Superior. Bit of a waste, but fuck it. We're having some fun. Oh, but it requires level 12. What am I? Level 9. Ugh. Okay, well, we'll skip that for now. That'll be a future thing. That's a future Mike problem. But anyway, from current Mike, thank you so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description as usual. Do a little organizing while I'm here. Yeah. Twitter, Tumblr, subscription in the description as usual. Please engage in all 3. And when subscribing, click on the bell, as the bell will give you the best chance of getting more of my content when it comes out. Hopefully I'll be playing Path of Exile for a little while in terms of making episodes. This will be in one session so far. I think I'll be doing one more episode tonight. So you'll have a couple episodes to watch, which will be great. Yeah, those will be sold. Go like that. That. Okay, I'm puttering. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and ciao for now.